In this first tutorial, we're going to look at some simple techniques of adding or subtracting fractions, dividing fractions, and then we'll also look at rationalizing the denominator of other sort of fractions that we come across. So the first problem we can have a look at is a simple problem of 1/3 minus 1/4. The main idea behind this is to make the two denominators the same, because currently they're not. And we use a simple trick of saying, if we want to make this denominator the same as this one over here, we look to this number. So by putting a 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top, and here by putting a 3 on the bottom and a 3 on the top, we ensure that the denominators are the same. So for this one we look to that number, and for this one we look to that number. So you see we're putting a 3 here, putting a 4 there. So that's a very simple idea, and it's quite neat and tidy. Avoids putting loads of multiplication signs everywhere, and you'll see that this idea will make algebraic fractions quite easy to combine. So on the numerator we've got 4 minus 3, which is 1. Let's now extend this now by putting 1 over x minus 1 over y. So we apply the same idea, use our trick of brackets here. To make this denominator the same as the one over here, we look to that and put a y, but we must do the same to the top. And for this one here, we look to that and we put an x here, and we must do the same to the top. In essence, we're saying x divided by x, which is 1, and y divided by y, which is 1. So we're not changing each of these fractions, we're just writing it in an equivalent form. So now we can see that the denominator is xy or yx, but the numerator is definitely y minus x. You can extend this now to a slightly more complicated case of 1 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1. The same idea again. Now we look here and put an x minus 1 there and an x minus 1 there. And for this denominator we look there, we put an x plus 1 there and an x plus 1 there. This makes each denominator easy to kind of calculate, because it's the difference of two squares, which is x squared minus 1 squared. So it's x squared minus 1 squared. So on the denominator now we have x squared minus 1. And when we look to the numerator, all we need to look at is say x minus x is 0, and then minus 1 minus 1 is minus 2. So that's the answer.